Hi guys, welcome back to another special episode. I'm Tyson, your host, and in this video I talk about 6 creative side hustles that you can do today to start earning extra income. And number 1 on the list goes to delivering for Uber or Skip. I've personally done delivery jobs. I've worked delivery for Uber and I've worked delivery for Skip. And I also have my class 4 commercial license in which I have operated as a taxi driver for Uber driving around customers. But let's talk about the delivery. So whether you work for Uber Eats or Skip the Dishes, I recommend this as a side hustle because ultimately come around to about $18 to $20 per hour, but you do have to factor in for gas, which will go into your expenses. But roughly speaking, for every 15 hours, you should be making $300 to $400. Sometimes you'll make a little bit more with tips. So I do recommend driving and delivering for Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes, especially on the weekends and during the evening hours. There are plenty of orders to go around and you'll pretty much be on the go flying, and that's where the money is made. You know, there's been periods where I make $100 in about 3.5 hours because I just went to 10 customers in the 3.5 hours because the orders keep piling up. There's no downtime and you're just on the go. Okay guys, so moving on to number 2, and that is to provide a service. You can advertise locally on Craigslist, Kijiji, on a Letgo app, and you can provide a service such as cleaning. A lot of people don't like to clean their houses, their cars, their garages, and whatnot. This is a very special niche, and you can actually charge about $20 to $30 an hour depending on the job, if not more. You can also charge flat rate. For example, if someone calls you and sends you pictures of a garage that they want tidied up and they send you a photo, you can say, hey, you know what? I can do that job for $80 flat rate, $50 flat rate. And if you want a continuing service, I can come in once every 10 weeks, twice a month, and I can do that and I can provide that service and clean the property for you. And I find this is a great way to make extra cash. For example, you have a day job, you get off, you have one job booked, maybe it's $50, maybe it's $100 and whatnot. And these contracts, guys, don't forget the power of referrals. So for example, guys, when you go and you clean 10 houses, you're gonna get referrals. You're gonna have somebody call you up and say, hey, I got your number from this client and I was wondering if you could come over and clean up my backyard or help me throw out some garbage, and etc, etc. And that's a great way to earn some side income. And this particular field, you can go full-time if you want to pursue some sort of a cleaning business. All right, guys, the next one I have on our list is being a landlord. Yes, you heard that. Being a landlord and renting out your property. You can rent out your property on Airbnb and make pretty good margins. Whether you own or rent a property currently, you can most definitely find a price to list your current property for and make a profit. So if you live in a house and you have an extra bedroom, you can rent that out on Airbnb for $60 a night, $80 a night, depending on the property. If you're currently renting an apartment or a house, you can also do that. People that are renting out their whole basement or their whole living room, their whole home for, let's say, $160 a night, and then they'll go and they'll stay at a hotel for $60 a night for a duration, and which when that transaction is over, you're gonna net profit a few $100s off of those tenants. There's a lot of ways to make money with Airbnb. Some people will sign a 1-year or a 6-month lease on a condo or an apartment, and then they'll just strictly use that as a short-term rental on Airbnb. So if you rent out a 2-bedroom condo for $1,200 a month and you sign a 1-year lease, that's $12,000, approximately $12,000. But if you were to go short-term rental and charge $70 a night, you're pretty much doubling your profits. Although I'm not guaranteeing that you'll rent out every day of the year, but you should be able to net profit on that property. So that's my tip for renting on Airbnb. All right, guys, I'm moving on to number 4 is buying and flipping electronics. And what do I mean? I mean buying and selling iPhones, Samsungs, laptops, iPads, MacBooks. There are some incredible deals out there on your local markets. And if you bought, let's say, a cell phone, a mobile phone for $500, you could potentially sell that the next day or a few days later for $620 and profit $120. Let's say you start moving into the MacBooks or the iPads, you might buy a MacBook for $1,600 and you might sell it for $1,900. You might buy a slightly used iPad for $400 and then you might end up selling it for $600. You will have to go and put in work. You'll have to go and talk to sellers, book appointments to go meet these people. You could start with less expensive products and then move your way up to, products that cost $800, $1,000. And eventually you'll be more comfortable doing those types of deals. Okay guys, so moving on to number 5, and that is online e-commerce sales. So as you guys know, there's many platforms out there such as Shopify, Amazon, Etsy, and these are some of the mainstream ones that a lot of people are currently utilizing to sell some sort of product, whether that be baked goods or interior home designs or clothing, retail products as well. And what you can do simply is go on Shopify or Etsy and create an account. I know Shopify does a 14-day free trial where you can build your product, upload photos, create a price point, and ultimately that way you can start selling product online. You can also create an Instagram page and start slowly posting ads, building your value in those ads and posting cool photos to kind of drive traffic to your site. You can pay for marketing from some influencers to bring traffic to your site as well. It's a lot of very technical things to run an online e-store, and it is a full-time job, but when you first start out and if you're making $500 a month, even $300, $600 a month, that income really does help. So let's talk about our last one. And number 6 is to start investing in some sort of stocks or dividends. Dividends typically pay quarterly, so every 4 months. There are dividends that will pay you monthly. If I were you, I would start buying dividends, stocks, just a few hundred here and there. And in the course of 5-10 years, that cash flow coming in from these dividends. Okay guys, so that was 6 side hustles that I hope you can put to some good use in these hard times as we're currently going through a global situation. There you have it. Those are my 6 side hustles that anyone can pretty much start doing. And I wish you guys the best. Click the button to subscribe as I will be uploading more financial freedom videos, real estate, finance, side hustles, investments, stocks, and a lot of goodness coming this year. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode.